All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 704 once again for episode, what is this, 263 of the 815 exchange. And well, we got UFC 319 on the tab. We've got more NFL preseason on the tab. We've got the world's quickest entertainment segment because after weeks and weeks of movies and telly and music, it was relatively peaceful this week. All right, I'm not going to lie to you. So it's going to be we're going to go for the all-time record for the entertainment segment. It's honestly a little bit egregious that I'm keeping it in, but we got to have the entertainment segment. We got to. It's a staple. We also got the first week of the Prem to talk about, so we're going to be talking about that. And then we got Cincy, Austin Dillon turning into Dale Earnhardt Sr., the Intimidator at Richmond, yet again. And Scottie Scheffler being Scottie Scheffler. So yeah, we got plenty to talk about today. I am back. I am refreshed. I was in South Hill for what was a sad reason. My aunt passed I haven't really disclosed that, obviously, online, but had that, but it was good seeing family. It was good. Even though the reason why family came together, it was good seeing a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it's good to be around that unconditional love that family brings to you. It really, really is, and it's refreshing, and as much as I love my city, it's good to go home. It's good to go home. It really is good to go home. I literally got back like an hour and a half ago, and we were right to it. All right, we were right to it. Filming on a Monday. I took time off from work. I never do that. All right, I never do that. So yes, the boys are fresh. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. And as always, everything you're looking for in this life can be found in my description. Timestamps embedded in the video, also in my description. Social media, all right, I'm posting on IG, all right, an hour from after this is uploaded, I am posting IG. I know twice in 1 year, what is wrong with you, who are you feeling like? I know, guys, I know, but yes, outro, description, y'all know the drill. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we got things to attend to, all right, this is the 815 exchange. Y'all came to see me talk sports and entertainment, and who am I? I am not Ocho if I do not deliver that to you. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with the fight game, and it is simply just the UFC today because we had UFC 319 live from Chi-Town. And, well, what did I say? I said last week I got Khamzat, and I didn't expect Khamzat to beat the break. Honestly, I thought DDP had a chance. I was wrong. I was wrong in that manner. Not in Khamzat winning, but I was wrong in how dominant of a victory this was. This was a straight up swooping. He smothered this man, mauled him. Whatever you want to call it. This was an all-time just blanketing of another man in an octagon. I've never seen anything like the performance Khamzat Chimaev put on DDP on Saturday night. I mean, complete and utter domination from a guy that was pretty much just out grappling, he was too strong for almost every other middleweight. But Khamzat just no. The whole, taking down everybody in a minute, maybe people were like, I don't know. Happened again, like 12 seconds. 12 seconds, and that set the tone. Khamzat outstruck DDP, and most of these strikes came in that last round because it was single digits for a long, long time. 529, a championship record. 529 strikes to 45. Now, a lot of them were just like little pot shots. They weren't nothing too crazy. I think it also had the largest discrepancy between significant strikes and just strikes. A lot of these were just like him peppering it on DDP. For all of how bad his takedown defense was, his submission defense was great because Khamzat was constantly trying to submit him, but I got to give credit where credit's due. He held that down. So there was a lot of just like pot shots, all right? Just out pointing, just wearing you down. So, Goddard can't break it down, even though at the last 2 rounds he was just like, to get something going here and give DDP a shot, I am going to break this up, even though legally he probably shouldn't have broken those up. But I digress, okay? That was a record. 21. Now, 5-minute rounds, 5 rounds, that's 25 for those who couldn't do the math, which, I think we got a smart audience here. Y'all can do the math at home. That's 25 minutes of fight time you were in that octagon. For 21 minutes and 40 seconds, Khamzat controlled DDP. 21 minutes and 40 seconds out of 25 minutes, Khamzat was in a controlled position, which means he had him taken down in either what we saw a billion times in this fight, a crucifix, top position, whatever it was. He was in control for 21 minutes in 40 seconds, which is by far a championship record. Smothered him. He drowned him. This was the equivalent of watching a shark grab a, I don't know, tuna, dolphin, whatever, a great white, and just dragging it down to the depths of the ocean and suffocating it. That is what happened in this fight. Not Gio, if that was, inaccurate, apologies. But y'all get the point, okay? Khamzat, historically dominant fight. This was not the most exciting fight to watch, but from a this is really happening, it had that for me. And I appreciate the art of wrestling and the submission, the grappling aspect of MMA a lot more than, maybe the casual, obviously. So I didn't think it was necessarily boring, but it was like, this is not competitive. But it is like, wow, he's really beating him this badly. A historic smothering. DDP wants the rematch. I mean, I'm not opposed, but I don't know who is supposed to beat Khamzat. I don't. That was the guy that maybe had unless Bo Nickel figures it out. Maybe. And I wouldn't even put Bo over Khamzat in terms of MMA wrestling. I don't know who besides old age or him just getting caught. Somebody just turning his lights off on one punch, who is supposed to beat this man. I don't. I really, really don't. A historically dominant ascension for a guy that was long lauded to be the next one. And ladies and gentlemen, Khamzat Chimaev is finally here. Simply put. Lerone Murphy said, I don't care about your Aaron. This has happened so many times, Aaron. So, that is dead. Okay, round one, spinning back elbow. Pico, as he always does, he runs into the knockouts after putting on the pressure and looking good. But then he just ran into an elbow. And it happens way too much. He always runs into it. That is it's a crazy fatal flaw to have. But because of his pressure, he always leads and he just runs into something and it turns his lights off. That is what has derailed the Aaron Pico hype train. And it was derailed in week 1, week 0, game 1, match 1, whatever you want to call it. All right, turned his lights off. Lerone Murphy makes a statement to the featherweight division, which is always loaded. But he wants Volk next. Volk wants him next. So that seems pretty simple to me, Dana. All right, seems pretty simple. He wasn't the only hype train to get derailed, though. However, MVPs did not. All right, he absolutely styled on Jared Cannonier until he got in this little bit of a sticky situation after he slipped in that third round. But nonetheless, MVP, it's Michael Venom Page. You know what you're getting. You're getting the swagger, you're getting the confidence, and he was just too long, too good, too fast, all right, for Jared Cannonier, and he whooped him. All right, he whooped him. Again, I did not realize MVP was that big and that tall. He looks almost similar to Izzy. At middleweight, to be honest with you. And y'all know I hold Izzy in very high regard. He looks similar to that. I know a lot of people were calling for that fight next. We'll see. I don't know. 2 counterattackers sometimes can be iffy with Izzy. But MVP, styles on Cannonier. Though the Killer Gorilla had a moment there in the third, but it was not enough. MVP continues his move up the middleweight rankings. What else happened on 319? It was a fast card because there was a lot of knockouts. We got a lot of decision cards the past month, but this one just pure unadulterated brutalities, okay? Carlos Prates turned GF Neal, same way, funny enough. And this was the fight before the, what was it? No, it was the fight before MVP Cannonier, but it happened on the same, main card as Murphy Pico, where ran to an elbow and just turned his lights off. Into the round, too. This was a buzzer beater. I was shocked. I was like, is he going to get saved? But no, he was out. GF Neal was out. All right, so the Fighting Nerds had a great day. A couple of them picked up W's, none more so than Prates here. Tim Elliott after Kaya Skura, who was so slick on his hands. Hands are slick. He can't do anything else. He won round 1, was looking good, and as soon as Tim got him down, he got him in a submission situation, and Tim Elliott shows why he's been in the UFC as long as he's been in the UFC, and he subs Kai, and that's the end of that hype train. 2 fights. You got brutality by Alexander Pantoja in the championship, which fine, it's Pantoja. You get Tim Elliott here. It's supposed to be a little bit of a layup. You're supposed to, have a little showcase here, and you get submitted in round 2. It's done. It's done. Please send this man, send Kai to Dagestan and leave him there. Leave him there, and when he's ready, tell him to come back because it's not looking good for him right now. Edison Barboza lost to Drakkar Close. Edison, it is time to hang it up, my brother. I don't know if you're broke or what it is, but it's time to hang it up. Alexander the Great hasn't been too great in the UFC, but, he was once a top prospect. Taking on another guy that was once highly regarded, Chase Hooper, who's had a little bit of a renaissance, but that all died because he got knocked out by Alex in the first fight of the evening. So, hype trains died. Unks got it done. Some Unks didn't get it done, but it was a brutal 319. But my God, it was a good card. All right, it was a very, very good card. A card that lived up to the hype, and Khamzat Chimaev also lived up to the hype. Let's keep it rolling with the world's fastest entertainment segment. I told you it was going to be very fast, and I meant it, because literally the only music that came out, I think on Friday, that I even listened to was Face Down by Chase Atlantic, which was good. It was good. Chase Atlantic, because I've been on that wave. I've really been on that wave. Been listening to that a lot at work, honestly. Just going through the albums. All right, Chase Atlantic. Shout out to that Australian R&B duo. All right, I'm rocking with him. Chase Down, very good. Gets the cosign here. I've been watching. I'm still on the Gossip Girl watch. I'm not going to lie. Once again, Jason the Ween is having a Streamer of the Year caliber year. So I've been locked in. All right, I've been locked in. I was watching streamer games a lot this week. Shout out to Ludwig. And Jakar is, real. So I've been tapped in. All right, I've been locked in on that. So it hasn't been as much getting my free time to watch Gossip Girl. And of course, I was on vacay this week, so we didn't get to really watch any of that. But I was rewatching Dune, so that was fun. But still watching GG. Currently watching Reacher, which not my favorite season, but it's interesting enough. Alan Richardson is a tank, bro. That physique is crazy. He's almost he's almost too big. But then they've got the other super tall guy in that show for season 3 who almost makes Alan look like normal. So it's kind of crazy. But he's a great Jack Reacher. He is the ideal Jack Reacher in my opinion. So yeah, Reacher, solid. Not as good as season 2 to me, but still very, very solid stuff. And that's entertainment. Like I said, it's going to be fast. All right, it was going to be fast. We're going to let the Prem take the main event. We'll talk about the NFL very quick, the preseason. Caleb Williams and the Bears. I think they shut out the Bills yesterday. They look good. Caleb looked good. He looked good. That 90-yard on the first possession, that's the Caleb. That's the Superman I know. That's the Caleb Williams I know. Fight on. All right? That's the Caleb Williams I believe in. Okay? So that's what I want to see more of. Ben Johnson cooked up yesterday. The boy looked good. All right? Tyson Badgett even looked good. But yeah, Caleb looked really, really good. The Bears look good. We'll see if they can keep it going, though. They got a lot of PTSD up there in Chicago, so we'll see. But yeah, Caleb looks good. Johnson looks good as coach. But we'll see. All right, we'll see. The Giants, this is terrifying for me. Have a quarterback again. Russell looked good in this preseason. We'll see if that continues. But once again, it's another week where we're talking about Jackson Dart cooking. 14 for 16, 137, 2 touchdowns. That's 137 through the air. He had another 40 through, on the ground or something like that. So yeah. Dart looks like a fan. If he doesn't have that Florida game where he just completely unraveled in that fourth quarter, we're talking about Jackson Dart in a different way. I'm going to be honest with you. We're talking about him in a very, very different way, in my opinion, in terms of what he would have ranked as a quarterback in this draft. And now you're seeing it. All right, I think he's going to be a steal for the Giants. I believe in Jackson Dart, as much as that pains me to say. As a Cowboys fan, as a USC fan, I've seen it. I've been seeing it. I've seen it for a couple of years. So, yeah, love that from Jax, but, not great. All right, not great for the rest of the NFC East if the Giants have a QB again, especially with the way that defense looks like they're brewing. Dylan Gabriel. All right, let's talk about the Browns quarterback controversy, which we've been talking about for a decade plus now at this point. Honestly, 2 decades plus. Dylan Gabriel finally gets his chance, and he does a pick. Not completely his fault. That was a weird route running from receivers and not going for the ball. It was weird. That was a pick 6, but he did recover really well, so I will give credit where credit's due. All right? Dylan did look bad. But I ain't convinced. All right? And he didn't look better than Shadur. So, again, picking 2 quarterbacks is not completely unforeseen. Again, but with the Browns, you have other needs. Probably could use that Gabriel pick another place and just been fine with Shadur. I will stand on that. But maybe DG proves that he's the guy. I will give him a chance. But, we'll see. I don't know what the Browns are doing. All right, and I don't know if the Browns know what they're doing. But we will see. We will See, that's becoming my trademark. All right, it used to be beat the brakes off somebody. We will see is now becoming my trademark saying right now at this point. Let's keep it rolling. Soccer, football, Prem. Shout out to AJ Tracy because it was time to find out who was going to be Prem proven here on match day 1. And Arsenal gets it done. All right, they took on Man U in what was the featured matchup of the weekend, let's be honest. And Man U didn't look bad, even though they lost 1-0. They did not look bad, generated chances. They got to get Šeško going. They didn't start him, which understandably just got there. So I won't deep it. All right, I won't deep it. Arsenal, once again, continues to be set piece FC. Declan Rice nearly hits an Olympiaco, but Calafiore gets the goal, even though he basically just hit it off the line. But yeah, that was just bad goal. Again, bad goalie. Just bad goalkeeping. Bad goalkeeping at Manchester United. It is a consistent. Since they got rid of De Gea, it's like they're cursed. They need to figure that out. If they want to advance, Almiron has to figure out the goalkeeping situation for Man U. But overall, not a bad game for them. But yeah, Arsenal just gets it done off that set piece. They look like they're going to be dangerous. Yorkies does have to adjust to the Prem, though. All right, there was going to be a little adjustment. But I will stand on, I think he's going to be very, very good. However, we already know Erling Haaland is very, very good. In fact, not arguably, he is. Well, there's an argument, I guess, at this point. But, I think he's snatching that back this year. Best striker in the world. The best number 9 in the world. One of the best players in the world. He gets a brace here against Wolves. He looked like Haaland, the machine. We've talked about it. It's been a minute, but we've talked about this before. You know who Erling Haaland is. That is what he was in this game. Tijani Reindeers looks like he's a monster. He looks like he's going to be one. I'm not even surprised. Dutchman from Milan coming over. It made sense. All right, so yeah, Tijani cooked. Cherki also got his first goal in the Man City kit. So, the new signings pay off. Haaland looks like he's back to business. Bright things ahead maybe for Man City this year. We will see. Spurs gets a 3-0 win here. Richie got a beautiful brace in this game. Kudos cooked up. So yeah, the fronts without Son, without Kane for the first time in a very, very long time in Tottenham. They do to get it done. All right, they look good for now. Richarlison's got to keep that up, though. He needs to be a star for them. With those guys out, he needs to make that full breakout into a world-class attacker, a world-class forward. So, again, Spurs needs that. Good win to start here. Liverpool took on Bournemouth on the first match of match day 1 and got the win here 4-2. Of course, very emotional game with it being the first, Prem game without Jota. Salah, of course, crying at the end. But my. Bournemouth gave them a battle. But another new signing shows up big time. Federico Chiesa gets it done in the 88th. Salah puts it down at the second? I think 90-2. So yeah, 92nd. Technically, Liverpool's escapes. All right, they escape with a 4-2 win. It was close, very, very close. But Liverpool deals in the drama, so not really too surprised there. But yeah, Chiesa looking good. All right, looking good. The new signings cooked up this week here in match day 1. We'll see what happens next week. But a solid start to what should be a very exciting Premier League season. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the Roundup. Yes, we have reached the Roundup. Austin Dillon, again, he always does this at Richmond. It's so dramatic. It really is so dramatic at this point. What he does at Richmond. It's the one race where he races like who he was supposed to be. The one race where he races like who Austin Dillon, when he was first coming up, top prospect potentially in NASCAR, I think, back then. One race. All right, but hey, it's a hell of a race today. I mean, you just got to win one to get in the playoffs, and that's what he did. All right, so I can't hate. All right, I can't hate. Austin Dillon gets it done here in Richmond, books himself into the playoffs. We got 2 spots left, baby. We got 2 spots left. Tyler Reddick is the favorite to get that 15. Austin Bowman, he's up 60-16, but, so points-wise, looks like they're good. But, again, you got to win and get in. So I wouldn't rule out Busher. I wouldn't rule out Priest. I wouldn't rule out Kyle or Ty. We will see. All right, we will see. One race to go. I believe it's Daytona. What? Let me make sure. Let me verify. Let me verify for the people. But I'm pretty sure they made the restricted place. Yeah, it's Daytona. All right. Come serious? Yep. It's Daytona. So again, anything can happen, especially at Daytona. But for now, Looks like they're second place. All right, but random winners can happen, and that is the exciting thing about having Daytona as the last regular season race. William Byron did clinch the regular season title, so credit where credit's due there. Scottie Scheffler is the best golfer in the world. We've been saying that for a minute, and my gosh, even though he hasn't won a major title this year, it hasn't really mattered. 5th straight win for him. All right, first man since Tiger to do that. Absolutely dominated the BMW yesterday. Absolutely dominated it. Robert McIntyre had a 4-hole lead to start the day. It took 5 holes, a 4-shot lead. It took 5 holes for Scottie to make that just vanish. Just vanish. And then just scorched the rest of that course. He was stunned. To put it in Southern terms, the boy was stunned. To put it in more crude terms, he was letting his nuts hang. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can touch him. Hardest 17th hole, doesn't matter. I'm gonna just get a nice little birdie on it. He was unstoppable yesterday. He was in that mode. Like it was eerily similar, honestly, to a classic like Tiger Woods, prime Tiger Sunday. He's in that red performance where he's untouchable on the course. That is what it looked like yesterday watching Scottie Scheffler. It was a hell of a performance. All right, an absolute hell of a performance from the best in the world. No debate. All right, no debate. 5th straight for Scottie. Cincinnati Open is today. All right, and by the time you're watching this, you will know who won. But we do have another synchronized matchup and yet another final. Maybe a preview of the U.S. Open, which starts later this week. Which again, it's kind of crazy that they're still doing doubles and haven't pulled out. I wouldn't be surprised if Emma and Carlos throw that. First matchup, which I think is against, or no, it's not against Sinner. That would have been hilarious, but or maybe it is, because he did repair because he couldn't do it. Emma, he did repair with one of the best, by the way, doubles players on the women's side. So I forget the seeding, but they might be playing each other. I don't think they are. I feel like that'd be a bigger deal, but they are playing each other today, so that should be good. I think Sinner takes it because he's just better on hardcore than Carlos, and he's got the momentum right now. He's on his own little undefeated streak, which is very similar to the one that Carlos was on when we were going into Wimbledon. But we will see. All right, the 2 best in the world are going off today, so it should be a good one as always. But all right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of episode 263. College football week 0 is next week, so CFB will be making its return, and of course the week after is of course week 1, and that is a loaded week as always. So we will be tuning in for that, but without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the boy is back. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope your August is going well. For those students that are back in school, hope you have a good year. Hope you have a good start. That's always important. All right, that's always important. Without further ado, Ocho signing off.